4 furniture styles I only encountered after moving to America. Really curious to see what kind of furniture we got in this and see furniture that we don't have in the UK. He's only encountered it whilst being in America. Super excited to get into this. Before we do, I appreciate if you guys could hit subscribe button. Let's straight into see what we got.
Hello, I'm Lawrence and I'm on a quest to uncover all of the memos that Britain and America lost in the pond, and one of those memos pertains to furniture.
I'm interested.
Specifically, furniture that I only encountered after moving to the United States.
Right.
And you might be thinking to yourself, Lawrence, are there lots of differences between British and American furniture? And the answer to that is no. Both countries have tables, sofas, rocking chairs, little footstools.
What's
and the
this
truth
video
is, in
then?
order to produce this video today and give you a listicle worth your time, I had to dig very deep into my memory banks, which have been forged over 16 years of living in America. And the more research that I did for this video, the more I discovered that not only were these pieces of furniture often invented in the United States, but have gained a following in Britain since I left. We're going to talk about that, but while watching this video, keep in mind this is my experience and nobody can take that away from me. Shut up, plane. So I hope, like me, you're sitting comfortably, and if you're not yet one of my big-time subscribers, do that now.
Link in description.
In the meantime, let's talk about furniture that I only encountered after leaving Britain and moving here to the Midwest.
Okay.
I think it's important to start this video, just like with most videos where I talk about British versus American things, talking about some of the terminological differences between our two countries, and most of those seem to centre around
sofa couch.
What do you call a sofa? Now, many people in America, and I dare say people in Britain, will in fact use the word sofa, but you also hear in America...
You know what? I actually sometimes, I've caught myself saying it a few times, and I don't know why. I think I'm picking up from you guys, but sometimes I will say couch. And I've started saying yard a lot. I don't know if you guys are in my stream. I'm saying yard instead of garden. Bro, you guys are literally... you're literally transforming me, bro. Yo, people in the UK ain't going to be able to understand me. But they'll understand me, but they'll think, where's this guy from?
America, the word couch, I would say even more commonly, at least here in the Midwest.
Right.
It's quicker. One syllable. And while that word may well exist in Britain, we have some of our own terms for it. Where I was growing up in Grimsby, we used to call it a settee, which is terminology mostly associated with the north of Great.
Oh, wait, actually, growing up when I was a kid, we would call it a settee as well. And then it turned into sofa.
Britain. But also in America, the word sofa, much like the word soda, has one or two regional synonyms. Some people call it a Davenport, even though a Davenport historically is a very specific type of couch. It's done what often happens in the linguistics of both countries, where this very specific type of couch took on a more genericized meaning in certain parts of the country. But it's rare to hear it called that. Confusingly, though, and equally...
Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard anyone call a sofa a Davenport.
Historically, a Davenport in the UK was something entirely different, but nonetheless a piece of furniture. And you guess what it was? It was a sort of writing desk with lots of little drawers that could pull out of it. Not recommended that you sit on that.
Box springs.
So we get to our first piece of furniture, which in fact comes in the form of a bed, or I should say a type of bed frame known as a box spring. Now, there'll be some of my British viewers going, we have that in Britain. Yeah, I've learned that. Europe as well. But as somebody...
Wait, no, but the springs would be in a mattress. Like, we don't have that no more, but like, I definitely had a mattress with springs in the mattress. That was like springs in the bed frame, no?
Who grew up with slats inside his bed. Everywhere I lived, I think. I can anecdotally confirm the kind of statistic that suggests that box spring beds are significantly less prominent in Britain than they are in the United States, where they were invented. There's another plane. But the box spring...
are you telling me there's springs under the bed? Bro, so if you like jump on the bed, you're gonna like fly off?
Bed is as American as apple pie, even though that was invented in England. And actually, it has a little known connection to the California gold rush of the mid-19th century. You see, there was this bloke called Tyler Howe, and he was a ship guy, and he was just sort of sailing around South America, as you do. And I don't know, he must have looked at Instagram or something, because he got wind of this gold rush happening in California, and so he actually sailed up toward California, much like all of the prospectors. Except it didn't really work out for him. He found no gold, so he headed back to his home state of Massachusetts.
Yo, are you gonna tell me all he found was springs, so he decided to make a spring bed?
with very little money and a bad temper. But that bad temper was made even worse, I think, by the fact that on his journey in this ship, the bed frames, which apparently were just sort of wooden planks nailed to the bed frame, would be really hard to sleep on. I mean, even with a mattress, because whenever the ship had any kind of in-flight turbulence, or the equivalent of it, but at sea, the movement of that foundation would transfer to the human on the bed, and it would be horrible, and they'd get sick. And so he said to himself, Tyler, how can we come up with something that prevents this from happening? And so out of that came the first box spring bed. He invented it, tweaked it, and then became really rich. And the idea spread around America like bed bugs.
Hey, yo, I swear that's what people say. If you ever want to invent something that you need. And then it would just, you know what I'm saying? Yo, so that came about from that? He just wanted to sleep well on a ship.
Became really rich, and the idea spread around America like bed bugs.
I'm still confused though. Is the springs in the mattress like old UK beds, or is it like below the mattress? I'm confused. Like where are the springs? Porch swings.
And now we get to talk about porch swings.
Yep, we don't even have porches.
Porch swings do exist in Britain, apparently. I found them on Amazon.co.uk. The big thing to mention here is their visibility to most people. And that's because porch swings, which typically...
Yo, the only type of swinging chairs we have in the UK, it don't look like that. It's not hanging from a porch, right? But like in people's back gardens, backyards, right? They'll have like a metal frame with like a swinging chair. But it's nothing like this, bro. We don't even have front porches.
You will find on actual porches on American houses. A lot of the time, those porches will be at the front of the house. Right. So you'll be walking down the street and you'll see somebody swinging away, drinking a beer. Accidents do happen. And that is not a visual that you will see in the UK. Don't get me wrong, we drink plenty of beer. But we don't typically have porches on the front of our houses. The porches...
Yeah, but this is how rare it is. I've never, ever, ever seen a front porch in the UK. They could be a rare house that has one, like they built their own house and they've decided to get one, but I have never, ever seen one, bro. That's how rare it is.
They're usually reserved for the back garden. Also, I would add that not many back gardens are going to have them. I don't think, and this is just observational, this is my grandma lived experience. I don't think porch swings are as popular in Britain as they are here.
Well, to be fair, my grandma, she has like the metal frame swing. It's not a porch swing, it's just a swinging chair.
Number one, we don't have the weather for them commonly enough. And number two, given that we live in little miniature boxes, it could be possible that we just don't have the space for them. I was being sarcastic about the boxes. All that said, I have to give Britain its due. It might not have been as replete with porch swings as America is, but it can make the claim to have invented the modern swing, as in the thing that kids play on and sometimes fall off. This is attributed, in fact, to one British person in particular by the name of Charles Wicksteed, possibly the most English-sounding name ever. And he was in the news in the last 10 years because some people with a stake in the preservation of the history of the modern day swing uncovered one of his prototypes, which they'd previously identified in a photo from the 20s.
Bro,
that's the 1920s. And this swing set...
Wait, hold on. Hey, bro. Wait, I just realized what they're doing. Are they crazy? Are they crazy?
Obviously identified in a photo from the 20s, that's the 1920s. And this swing set is said to be the oldest in the UK, if not the world. So to my British followers, and perhaps even more so to my American followers, the next time you find yourself pushing your niece in one of these things, or indeed pushing her out the way so that you can use it, as happened to me on many an occasion, spare a thought for Mr. Charles Wicksteed, who ultimately made this possible. I doubt he envisaged people using it well under the influence, but... What can I say? I'm a trailblazer. And given my heralded status...
Wait, I just realised that's him. Wait, that is him. Either that's him, younger him, or that's a photo of somebody who looks a lot like him, bro. That really doesn't look like him. That has to be him, right?
What can I say? I'm a trailblazer. And given my heralded status as a YouTube sensation, you could be forgiven for thinking that I do all of my editing from a hammock while sipping margaritas. From what I'm about to say, you might think that I have a bed fixation, and I do.
Yeah, I think you do.
But I also have a fixation with hiding places, and that's where Murphy beds come in. Sadly, I don't have a Murphy bed in my house to show you, but I have been to a few people's houses that do have them. And Murphy beds are those things, you may have seen them in films like Who Framed Roger Rabbit, that just fold out of the wall. And they're quite useful, I suppose, when you don't have a lot of space.
Oh, wait. That's a Murphy bed. I've always wondered, right, Is anyone with those beds? Because I have seen them on movies before. Has any one of those beds like activated it so it slings back into the wall with them in the bed?
And even though I thought that these were probably just something that were confined to the early 20th century,
right.
apparently they're pretty popular still across the United States.
Okay.
To the extent that they saw a resurgence during the pandemic because people were obviously at home a lot.
Hey, any of you guys got a Murphy bed?
They just wanted more space in their tiny apartment. And believe it or not, I read into this online, the same thing happened in Britain. And I, for one, am a big fan of that, and I bet the same is true of their inventor. But when the Murphy bed was invented, it wasn't just about prioritising space.
Yo, this doesn't look like a comfy bed, bro. This is like if you was going to create a human catcher, you know, like we got fly catchers, bro, like squat. You know what I'm saying? This would be a human version, dude.
Space. It was about what that space was suggestive of, and in fact, the word "suggestive" is quite a useful
we need that
one
in the
here.
UK.
It has its roots
space.
in the sex life of a San Francisco man from 1900, and that man was named William Lawrence Murphy, no relation, because Lawrence was his middle name and spelled with a W. But this is according to the Smithsonian, who said that Murphy invented the Murphy bed when he...
Okay, yo, I don't think this bed was invented for sleeping, bro. This looks like a medieval torture device right here. What is going on? What is going on? What is this?
This is according to the Smithsonian, who said that Murphy invented the Murphy bed when he was falling for a young opera singer. We've all done it. And courting customs at that time would not permit a lady to enter a gentleman's bedroom, so his invention allowed him to stow his bed in his closet, transforming his one-room apartment from a bedroom into a parlor.
Oh my God. Oh my, listen. This is a whole different story to sex will make a man do anything, bro. You're telling me this guy created a whole ass invention, a new invention, bro, just so he can get laid?
I don't know about you, but coming from Britain, where the word parlour was perhaps a bit less prevalent within our parlance, try saying that after 4 whiskies. Parlour to me already has connotations of rompy-pompy. Now, just a few years later, of course, San Francisco suffered a devastating earthquake. I hope Mr. Murphy wasn't in bed at the time, because I'm just picturing the poor chap, and maybe the opera singer, enveloped vertically by the mattress, which I suppose would be quite useful in an earthquake.
Maybe. What is this? Adirondack chairs. Adirondack chairs. Adirondack. What, bro, it sounds like a song. It sounds catchy. Adirondack.
And finally, the suspense has been building to this. My chairs. But not just any chairs. These are Adirondack chairs. And anybody who's walked around my neighbourhood in the last 2 months... It just look like chairs. Will have seen about 100 of these because people like to put them in their yards, sometimes in their front yards, even if they don't have a porch. They'll just stick them on that front piece of grass.
They're very like they go down a lot, like they're slanted, bro. What's going on here?
I'm a little bit more reserved than that, and I've got them here in the backyard. But people who follow me on social media will know that I consider this to be among the 50 greatest American inventions of all time.
Really? They're comfy?
That's because I'm lazy. And there are 2 major reasons for that. Firstly, the armrests. They're massive. Look at this. I don't want my arms just sliding off the side, which happens with a lot of armchairs. But the other major thing is the seat itself is actually at a backward angle. So it's very hard to get out of unless you have long legs like I do.
Wait, what's the reason for it being like such an angle? We don't really have angled chairs like that in the UK. Not that I've seen anyway. Normally ours are just straight, bro.
I think that's part of its charm because it's kind of like when I'm sitting in the living room with the cat on me. The cat gives me an excuse to not get up for 3 hours, and I feel like these chairs sort of do the same thing. And my wife understands that, so she'll tell me, Lawrence, don't worry about mowing the lawn today, even though it looks horrendous. Kick back, enjoy yourself.
Relax.
What? No, I was just doing an impression of you. I don't need to tell you what I said, and also don't watch the video. No, I'm pronouncing the name of Adirondack chairs as if I've been saying it my whole life.
Yo, I feel like there's definitely some people that really do struggle to get out of them after a couple hours. Like, literally, they're going to need extra hands.
Actually, when I first heard of the word, I went through about 12 different permutations in my head, starting with Adirondack chair and Adirondack chair, and just, you know, in the end, I just had to hear it for myself.
You know what? I kind of nailed it, didn't I, right? Did I nail it first time saying it? I'm pretty sure I did.
Typed it into YouTube, only to discover that Adirondack is also a mountain range in upstate New York, and it's after that mountain range that the chair is named. But doing the research for this video, a coincidence popped out to me. They were invented, just like the Murphy bed, in about 1900. It's as if, as the 20th century began, America decided, you know what, we're going to experiment with just weird angles.
Good job,
and in this case, it was one American in particular, Thomas Lee, who was based in Westport, New York, which is just a short drive from the Adirondack Mountains. And they gained in popularity through a very unlikely source, and that unlikely source was tuberculosis sanatoriums.
Wait, what? Bro, I was going to say the inventor definitely designed it so he could sit in it and be like, oh, wife, I can't get out. I've designed this new chair. It literally won't let you out. I gotta stay here now.
And they gained in popularity through a very unlikely source, and that unlikely source was tuberculosis sanatoriums. And that's because the armrests of these things, which for me are in the top 3 armrest styles in the universe, were positioned in such a way that it helped the chest of the person sitting in them to sort of open up, and so that they could breathe just that bit more easily.
Oh,
nowadays,
no way.
Those armrests, of course, are used for not just your arms, but maybe a can of soda, which ultimately could lead to other health concerns. And so the respiratory benefit from them is handy
out the window.
once again.
It's out the window. It's out the window.
Those of us who have
though.
rented over the years will know of another major difference between British and American furniture, which is that British apartments tend to be fully furnished and American apartments don't. Hence why I bought my own house.
Wait, you know when not furnished? To be fair, UK apartments aren't furnished though. Like, you got the kitchen there. Like, you guys have the kitchen there, right? You got the walls, you got the doors, you got the kitchen. That's it. Nowadays, they're not really furnished.
The only reason.
I'm pretty sure they're not.
Graffiti the walls. Anyway, thank you to my patrons who make these.
Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. If you guys got any of these furniture, and let me know which one's your favorite. I'm really liking the look of the chairs, bro. I would want to try one out and see how comfy it is. Enjoyed that. I hope you guys enjoyed as well. If you did, make sure to leave a thumbs up, subscribe for more content. I'm live every single day on twitch.tv/L3WG. If you guys want to check me out over there, I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.